Hello, hello. Think we're live. If not, we will be shortly. Why are you going? Okay, I think we are live. There we go. Now we are. At least now I know. Looks like I've been live for 18 seconds. So sorry about that. We do have a new warning, so I wanted to go ahead and jump on and talk about that. This helps keep me awake too, as you know, it's getting to those late nights or late hours for an old guy. But we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. First off, reports of large trees down on Highway 464 northeast of Maryville. And that is from a storm chaser. And then we have a warning now for this storm that is moving into western Vernon Parish. Yes, we have the ongoing flood threat. We have that flood threat that has prompted a flood warning now for most of Vernon Parish into northern Beauregard Parish. And then, of course, we still have these warnings up here for Grant, Wynne, Natchitoches, parts of Sabine, and big-time heavy rain, lightning, thunder, all that good stuff coming toward Alexandria. This is what we're looking at right now. This cell right here really pulsed up as this heads toward like Evans, Burr Ferry, that area, right kind of where Vernon and Beauregard come together along the Sabine River. If you are in Evans, Almadane, Knight, that area, you could possibly see what they're saying. This could actually contain golf ball-sized hail. It was located over Stringtown, 9 miles northwest of Maryville, moving northeast at 25. Golf ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds are your main threats. So if you are in this area, I know this is a pretty sparsely populated area. I know a lot of you are asleep at this hour. But if you are out in this area, there is the threat for some large hail. This is going to continue on toward the east-northeast. And depending on exactly how this evolves here, it could impact anywhere from New Lano down to Rose Pines. So maybe Leesville. I mean, it's close. It's going to be close. It looks like that main core is going to stay just to your south. But the problem with this is, of course, hail is a big problem. But then it looks like this is going to be going right into these areas with the flooding issues as well. That we already have the flood warnings in effect. Not sure I agree with your police work there, sir. Let's see. Nope, not doing good on that one either. So the skits are not looking good. They're not giving me what I need. Let me take a look on this one here. See if we're a little better. That's more like it. So this is saying there are baseball-sized hailstones elevated within this one. The BTI, that's the Barron Tornado Index, is at 6.2, so something to watch here. Once that gets closer to 10, once we get above 5 or 6, it starts to become something to keep an eye on. This does have hail in it. It's probably melting down from that size to about golf ball in that core, and that's what we are currently seeing with this storm. But a pretty significant severe storm there that is moving into western Vernon Parish, extreme northwestern Beauregard Parish. Let me clear things off here, take the skits off, and we will go ahead and put things in motion. And I'll put it in motion from the Lake Charles radar because that is going to give us a little cleaner look at these storms that are coming toward northern and central Rapides Parish. I think down south here, you're going to skate clear of these for a little while. But if you are north of like what are we thinking here? Otis to Woodworth line, that's where I think the heavy rain is going to come in with these. We're going to see these storms continuing to develop more out west, as I've been saying. Training thunderstorms, that is going to be the theme of the night here, as we've already been seeing in areas to our west. And I posted an update, a text update, so you can go and check things out regarding what I think is coming here. And what I think is going to happen is we're going to see these thunderstorms set up, and let me just pause it and I'll draw you a little something. I know my artwork is so great. This is right over the radar out at Fort Johnson right now. Let me see. I'm going to draw. This is what it appears is happening here. We're going to see the heaviest rain. This is not where the heaviest has fallen, but this is going to be where the heaviest rainfall occurs over the next 3 or 4 hours. This is going to just continue to kind of channel along this path right here. And you can see here, we had one little severe storm kind of split and go left here. So there is still, I said it's a lower severe threat. There's still a severe threat north of this outflow that is now stretching from about Oakdale to DeRidder. The highest severe threat is going to be right near that boundary, but obviously we do have a hail threat with any of these storms and possibly some damaging wind as well. This is charging off toward the east-northeast at about 25 to 35 miles per hour. So I say charging. I think that's more the impact of the size and the just the sheer magnitude of these storms. They're not moving 100 miles an hour or anything crazy, which would actually be a little nicer because that would get them out of here quicker. It looks like this is just going to train over this, this blue highlighted areas where the heaviest is going to fall. Some of these areas are already contained in flood warnings that have already seen a few inches. I saw one report that said they'd had a couple inches of rain in Leesville in not much time. So that's what we're going to be seeing here. A couple inches of rain falling in short order. Then maybe you slow things down, get back to more moderate rainfall, and then you get another storm, get a little break, get another one. Hopefully you get the breaks. But you can see, all this red stuff here, that is heavy, heavy rainfall that is going to be just kind of channeling across this same area. You can see those little elements that are coming in from the southeast. That is the moisture that is feeding into this over the outflow, and all this comes together to create a big mess. So let me go ahead and look at the comments here. I'll clear this off, keep the motion going on that. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning down to our southwest. Let's see. Big 4.25 inches just north of Leesville and Hawthorne. You got a lot more coming. That's why they've issued that flood warning. Let's see. Storming hard in Rose Pine. That's right. No, there's not a tornado right over anyone. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. Don't worry about that. Coteal, Hicks, that area. Yeah, it looks like you're going to be seeing some very, very heavy rainfall here over the next several hours. Is a hotel safe? Yeah, I think if you go into a sturdy, well-built, I'm not going to name the hotel because that would just be terrible of me, but there are certain hotels. There are certain local motels that I wouldn't suggest. Let's say that. If you were going to go to a more substantial place, yeah, that's a pretty good and safe structure to be in. It's better than a mobile home. It's definitely an upgrade over a lot of homes. So yeah, and then they have those stairwells and everything in there. So yeah, that would be a pretty good place to be. Colfax, it's rough. Yeah, it's going to be rough. Where you see these reds here, I'm looking at the Gina camera and the Alexandria camera. I'll show you everything here again, bored here, because I have literally nothing but this to do. So, I can't say bored. I'm actually, this is my element. So, but we have a lot of rain falling. Looks like a lot of lightning up in Gina, Alexandria. It's flashing and flickering. You know what I did want to show you? Let's go into the show, which is just another area of this. I'm going to show you, that was the Alexandria camera real quick. This is your power outage map. Currently, these are current power outages in the area from Power. I think it's power.us. It's the one that everybody goes to. But this shows us graphically what we have here. So quick math here, 21, 36, 71, 86, 8,700 customers without power. And that's mainly going to be along and west of I-49, apart from Wynn and Grant Parish. But you can see lots of power outages, especially up towards Sabine Parish. 3,500 customers in Sabine Parish. It's not a very populous parish, so you're seeing a lot, a significant percentage of people without power there. Vernon and Natchitoches as well, and we're seeing those creep into Alexandria, Rapides Parish. We're going to see more of that over the next several hours. And here, let's take the future radar out, and I'll show you, take you for a spin on this. No, I don't want a software update. Okay, so this is the latest run of the HRRR model, and you can see that these storms, it's pretty much hitting on the idea that I've been thinking here, where we're just seeing this stretch out. It does pull them a little further south, which is interesting because that doesn't seem to be bearing out, but you talk about a nasty looking model run. And then, so let me take you back here. So this is what's happening now through the next few hours. Let's, for argument's sake, say, okay, this goes and sweeps the instability out. We still have that wave come through, get enough upward motion to get some moderate to heavy rain for the morning. So it's still going to be pretty nasty out there. But look what happens then. If we still have instability left over because we didn't get that big cluster of storms in the morning, we regenerate things. we might see some scattered storms tomorrow afternoon. Now, I don't think these will be nearly as severe as what we're seeing now, but I think by tomorrow afternoon, we're certainly going to want things to quiet down a little bit because we will have seen some severe weather in the area. And of course, as we are seeing the flooding potential as well. So right now, one severe thunderstorm warning. I will zoom in on this and show you where the highest threat for hail is going to be. This is now right south of Evans near Knight, Almadane. This is moving toward the east-northeast. This is going to cross 171 probably in the next 30 minutes or so. And they still have golf ball-sized hail, I believe, on this. Let me just check and see if we have an update. Yeah, right. The data they're looking at is showing, it's amazing what we can see now. I mean, they're seeing the hail core basically up over 25,000 feet over the minus 20 Celsius level with storm top divergence of 100 knots. That's crazy, the stuff that we can see. The thing that we're seeing, what that equates to at the ground, is a couple inch diameter hail. And I'm so sorry. There are these little fuzzes that get on here. They get on my nose and they drive me insane. So I'm trying to fix that. But heavy rain continuing on through the eastern part of Vernon Parish. This is going to be working into Rapides. This will eventually come into Rapides. Let's take a look at the lightning because there is plenty of it to go around. And 579 strikes just in this small area, covering the whole area here. We're over 600 strikes in the last 15 minutes. Lots of lightning going on here. This one's really pulsing up. You can see those larger strikes there. Those are the more recent ones. And it's just a big thunderstorm festival from basically Gina through Ball down toward Boyce, Flatwoods, Fort Johnson, Leesville. You're in a bit of a lull, but I guarantee it's still loud out there. And then into areas mainly south of Toledo Bend now, but Maryville, Burr Ferry, these areas seeing some pretty hefty rainfall, and we're going to see more. It looks like they did issue a special weather statement. It says, Doppler radar tracking strong storms along a line extending from near Clifton to near Leander to 7 miles southwest of Hindston. Movement was northeast at 30. The threat with that one is going to be 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some nickel-sized hail. So don't be surprised if you hear a little hail falling. Again, please always do send pictures if you can, safely get to that stuff and let me know what you're seeing. I love the observations. They are a great help. And it's really interesting to see that, what I'm going to do because I have the time. We're going to go and look at this in the volume mode. We're going to take a vertical slice of it. We're going to go upside down here. Sorry if you get motion sickness, which I do. I'm no fun at Universal Studios. This is that hail core. So the black area, that's hail falling right there. And it looks like that pink goes up to, that's the one that goes up to 20,000 feet that I was talking about. And it looks like that part of the hail core where I sliced it is actually nearing the ground. But look at this elevated hail core then between 20 and 30,000 feet. So this one's sustaining itself, and I think this one is going to continue to be a thorn in our side for a little while here. Heavy rainfall, that's, the flooding is going to be the most widespread threat. We will see some hail forming out of some of these storms. I wouldn't be stunned to see it out of that one that's moving into Western Rapides right now. Let's take a look from the Lake Charles radar site. And yeah, that's definitely the most prominent hail core with any of these storms. I'll just check Shreveport for giggles here. Yeah, well, that's actually showing a rotation lock. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that because, again, we're looking higher up into the storm. Let's see. Yeah, that's hail. This is your storm relative. So it's seeing some rotation. That's just because this is an elevated supercell. Not elevated, I can't say that definitely, but I am not seeing this translate to near the surface. We can see we're only several hundred feet up here, not seeing that rotation near ground level. But looking at this, let me do base velocity. Okay, that's much better. Okay, not seeing any crazy strong winds, at least showing up on radar right now. The main threat with that storm, and again with these big heavy rain showers and thunderstorms, we could see 50-mile-per-hour winds easily coming down to the surface. But right now, our most significant threat is going to be this hail here that is just west of Rose Pine. If you are driving, you're saying, you know what? It's time for me to head from Rose Pine to Leesville. I wouldn't do that right now. We've got some hail and very heavy rainfall and a flood warning and a severe thunderstorm warning. So we got a lot going on. Yes, there is rotation with this severe thunderstorm warning. This rotation is elevated, however. I keep looking over here. My goodness. Let's look at the cameras. Let's check out Gina, because you can't see anything really on Gina except for the lightning right now. It's just the way it goes when it's that dark and there are no lights out there, but then the lightning will come. So kind of looks like static on a TV back in the day. Come on, don't make me look silly. That was just a faint little burst of lightning right there. Yeah, it's raining too hard, going nutty right now, so it's going to be tough to really pick it out. Let's see if we can check it on the Alexandria camera, where I did put the Cenla Broadcasting logo. Again, we thank them so much for letting us use this tower space, both in Alexandria and in Gina. And looking out west right now, we're seeing cloud cover. We're seeing some light rain. I'm up to 0.26 inches of rainfall. And I swear to you, this thing has been just lighting up like a Christmas tree. And I put it on and it's like, no. But here, you know what you can do? First off, you can subscribe to the Cenla Weather YouTube channel. It's an easier way to get updates, I think, when we're going live. I just think it's a bit easier to get that to happen. You can also go there, and for now, until we get this new system set up, which is happening soon, with all the other cameras, because we're going to have 8. We're going from 2 to 8. And you can go watch these 2 live on the YouTube stream right now. And those will be on the Cenla weather page, so you can watch the Alexandria and the Gina cam. Right now, the Gina camera, again, looks like static on a TV from 1978. And the Alexandria camera is desperately devoid of lightning as it is thumbing its nose at me. Okay, let me go ahead and go back to the radar, and then I think I will check out for a bit. But that hail core really holding together pretty well. I'll put it in motion, show you what's going on there. Crossed right over the Sabine and right into southwestern Vernon Parish. Maybe some smaller hail there down. Is that 190 west of DeRidder? Ooh, I need to know my highways better. Are you going to show me? Well, that's terrible. Huh. Well, you know what that highway is if you're in DeRidder. I'll need to venture to DeRidder more in my life. But there is the hail core right now. Maybe it's dropping out a little bit, but we could see that pulse up again. I showed you that elevated nature of that hail core. So that shows me that updraft was still holding all that hail in place. Hopefully the storm will continue to show this slow, slight weakening trend, but for now we do have that severe thunderstorm warning over southern Vernon. They've actually removed Beauregard Parish from that warning, and then we have our flood warnings when we look at the big picture here. Let me take the warnings and watches off, then I will get out of here. I do want to look at one thing. See if they have the, yeah, okay. Here's our local storm reports too. Let me just click on these. Yeah, this is that report of multiple trees and power lines down at Kites Marina. And then this is 4 northeast of Junction. Come on, stay there. Large trees down on Highway 464 northeast of Maryville. And that was that other report we were talking about. I don't see anything else apart from this flooding report that is east-southeast of Coshada, just out of our area. Water over road at Highway 71 and 784. So again, if you're heading out tonight to do any traveling, not the best night for that. But I can't stop you. I'm not going to try. I mean, I guess I will try. Please don't travel. But big heavy rain moving into Rapides Parish. Lots of stuff going on from LaSalle through Grant. Wynn Parish seeing that rain. Moving into southern Natchitoches, still holding on to that. The next storm in the parade moving into Leesville, moving into western Vernon, just into the northwestern corner of Beauregard Parish. And these are just going to continue to walk over the same stretch of land here, it looks like, over the next several hours. So the last thing I will do before I go is to pull up the accumulation. I'm going to go for the last 3 hours. I'm going to stop that, stop the loop. We can just look at this one in still motion. But anywhere in the yellow, you are seeing radar estimates over 2 inches. This just includes the last 3 hours. So this does not include what you saw earlier today, before well, earlier yesterday before 9 o'clock tonight. So let's take a look and see where we're kind of peaking here and what we're getting here. We have the heaviest rain still moving into these areas, but 2.4, 3.4 into these oranges. We're over 5 in Jasper and Newton County, Texas. I would not be surprised to see someone end up with 10 inches of rain out of this, which is kind of what I've been talking about. And I'm just going to look at the 1 hour total, see where the heaviest stuff is right now, and you can see that whole thing kind of pivoting, doing that thing. It's elongating along that outflow. It's kind of tilting down toward LaSalle and Northern Rapides. There it comes into, Vernon. You're still getting hammered by this, and you can just kind of see there is a little bit of a northward nudge, but typically what we're going to see is these little streamers feed into that, and that's going to reinforce that southern edge, and this is going to just line up right across the heart of central Louisiana tonight. So if you have plans for a 1 a.m. run to Pit Grill or something, I would say put it off if you can. Let me take a look at this. Questions here. Yeah, it's coming right for you at the Rapides Grant line. Going to get a lot of rain and storms there. Okay, so the main threat for everyone, and I'll pull the warnings back on, is going to be heavy rainfall. There is the potential for some severe hail out of these. As I'm seeing it now, the tornado threat is fairly low. It's not non-existent. I'm kind of watching how this one looks like it's starting to eat some inflow here. So, yeah, I'm going to be watching it closely. I'm not ruling out tornadoes by any stretch, but like when I looked at the Alexandria camera, we were at 62 degrees. I stepped outside with my wife earlier. She goes, "It's chilly." I said, "Yeah, that front came through, that boundary, that outflow went through, and it cooled us off by about 8 to 10 degrees. So if you see those temperatures come up, if you see this outflow start to surge north, that's when our severe chances are going to increase, although we could still see them immediately behind that front, and that's what I'll be watching for. But our most widespread concern is most definitely going to be that is most definitely going to be our most widespread issue is the flood. You get an alert for a high threat of a tornado on Fort Polk. No, I'm not seeing that yet. In fact, I'll just go take a look at the velocity here. I don't see a high threat by any stretch. I do see some rotation aloft in that storm, and it's near the actual outflow. So yeah, it's something I'm watching, but it's not something that I see as imminently developing. This is more an elevated rotation it's a supercell thunderstorm, but given the current nature of things, I don't see this being an imminent high tornado threat. Is there some sort of threat? Yeah, I think so. But no, I wouldn't class this as a high threat kind of deal. Let me go back to this radar. That was Shreveport, so... But yeah, I'll be watching that storm. Looks like it's trying to get a little creative on us. Of course, I'm sitting here, so it takes me like 10 seconds to pop the live up and go and start talking to you. So what I'm going to do now is get on out of here, be watching for warnings, and I will update as soon as I see anything worth talking about. Be careful. Stay inside if you can.